guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a little chit chat, get ready with me. I haven't done these in a while, so I'm excited to go on here and just talk to you guys. Today's topic, I feel like I'm going to kind of talk about a few things, but mainly I think I'm going to talk about colorism. I know it's a very touchy little subject, but for the last week and last couple of days, it's kind of been something that's on my mind. There's been a lot going on social media, especially Twitter. So I thought I'd give my little 2 pence and give you guys a bit of my own experiences. Okay, so let me just clip my hair out the way so it's not completely annoying while I do my makeup today. I'm not going to really go through what I'm using, guys. I'll put everything in the description box. But yeah, so hope you guys are doing well. We're in, like, I don't know how long I've been in quarantine now, but we basically been living in it for at least a month now. Hopefully everyone's mental health is good. Hopefully your spirits are up, because I know it is hard staying in the house all the time, especially if you're an extrovert. But just think of it as like you're alive, you're here, you're blessed. There's like so many people not here with us or losing their lives, so just think of it as a blessing. Try and fill your days with stuff to do. I know it gets boring, but it's a blessing that some of us just have a roof over our head and have food to eat and we're not going hungry, so we thank God for that. I'm using my NARS foundation in Namibia, and I'm just gonna throw that on. I've already primed everything. So yeah, let's talk about what's been going on Twitter lately. It's been actually kind of insane. So if you guys don't know, there was like a whole day, I think it was maybe like 2 days, where people were just exposing people for like old tweets about like colorism. There was like, I honestly wasn't taking in too much of it because I just felt like it was becoming like crazy, like it was just so much. But basically there was just a whole bunch of tweets, like obviously negative tweets, colorist tweets about black women. Some of them were so graphic and so like, it was just so hurtful. And then also it was some like influencers, some YouTubers that were like coming up, and everyone was so shocked, like, oh my gosh. And it was a whole bunch of freaking mess. A lot of the tweets were also in like 2011, 2012, 2013. And if you guys were on social media or on Twitter in that, I'm not gonna say that area, but I guess like UK Twitter, I guess. If you guys were online or had an account back then, you would have probably seen these tweets. Me personally, when I was that age, I was more interested in Nicki Minaj. Like, you guys know I love me some Nicki, but when I was like 13, 14, I literally was just following Nicki Minaj and just figuring out what she was doing. Like, I was not really interested in Twitter in that way, but I did see them tweets. Like, when I saw some of the tweets coming up, I'm like, I'm sure I remember some of these tweets. But like now when I look at it, I feel like, oh my gosh, like that's so horrible. But I remember 13, 14-year-old me just thought, oh, whatever, people just making fun of dark-skinned girls again. It's just a part of life. I remember like that was kind of my attitude towards it, and it's sad that that was my attitude, but I'm actually grateful that I was strong enough to kind of be like, okay, they're just making fun, it's boring. But still, even if consciously it didn't affect me, subconsciously it definitely affected how I viewed myself and how I valued myself as a young girl in society, and you know, how I looked and all of that stuff. Now that it's kind of like, I'm not gonna say it's calmed down, but now like the initial shock is worn off, to me I just feel like when you bring up these tweets, what is the final result? Like, what do people want? I can't defend them tweets at all, but for me, I just felt like after initial shock, I kind of said, you know what, I'm gonna lead with compassion here, because I just feel like all the content that I've seen from those two girls, well, I can't talk about anyone else because I really didn't know the other people that were being brought up in the tweets, but those two were people that I've watched before. I just feel like from what I've seen from their content, I feel like they've grown from that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like at some point when someone does something wrong and hurtful, you cannot really change the past. You can only change your future actions. And from what I've seen from both of them, I feel like they've grown. You can only hope they have. Obviously, you don't know anyone's real life or their real personality, but you can only hope that they have grown. I feel like the content reflects that. Yes, these people have done wrong. Yes, they should apologize. After that, what's the next step? Because I feel like some people are still really angry, and that's fine. Like, I can never tell anyone, I can never invalidate anyone's feelings, but I just feel like at some point you have to figure out, okay, what's next after this? It's fine if you personally decide, I don't want to support their content, I don't want to listen to that person anymore. That's fine. There's two things you can do. You can completely stop supporting the person and just unsubscribe, unfollow, and just cleanse your timeline and your social media of them and just follow other people that you like or more suited towards, or you continue to support them. It's two things. Those are very two easy things, and that's just what I feel like should come of it. You don't have to accept the apology, you can accept the apology, it's literally up to you, and that's it. That's it. It doesn't need to be constant like hate and like negativity, because there was some like really horrible tweets and horrible comments left under both their pages and their socials, and I just feel like that's when it gets a little bit, okay, this is getting a little bit horrible. Like, just make a decision. I can understand people have their comments to make, but just make a decision, let it go. That's what I feel like we're at now. I want to put on some eyeshadow today. So yeah, that's kind of roughly how I feel about it. I'm not gonna forget the context, and I'm not making excuses for anyone. I'm just telling you guys my opinion. And even first 3 years of secondary school, there was definitely a complex, like in terms of light-skinned girls was prettier, dark-skinned girls was not seen as a thing. I'm a young dark-skinned girl. I remember feeling like like you weren't seen as pretty, you were seen as like the bottom of the barrel. Like, out of all your friends, you'll probably be the least desirable. That feeling, I had that. Just not being pretty enough to society, like that was definitely a thing that I knew in my head and in my heart. Like, that's just kind of, I guess, do you know what's crazy? I think I just accepted that. It wasn't something I fought with, it wasn't something that I was really emotional about as a young girl, because I just knew that's what it was. I never tried to fight it, I never like got really emotional about it. It was just, yeah, dark skin girls are not that pretty. That was just something I accepted, and that was it. I just went with it, and I never ever questioned it. It was just is what it was. And that's really sad to even think back, but I definitely think that's why I personally didn't really suffer as much as maybe other dark skinned girls growing up. It's because I just accepted it for what it was and just moved on. Like, I just felt like there's nothing I can do if people think this, so I'm not even going to try and convince them. I'm just going to do what I want to do. Things that were going around at that time, it's just inexcusable. Those tweets are a reflection of what life was like in terms of people's mentalities at that time. Like, that's one thing we all have to understand. That's literally what people thought, and that's why they were okay tweeting it and people were laughing, because that was literally going to school every day, or even in your interaction with young boys, like as a young person in them times, that's literally what the energy was like. I'm not gonna pretend because I'm in 2020 and I feel like that's so wrong. Back then, that's what was the daily thing. No one was pulling no one up about anything they said about dark skinned girls. Even your light skinned friends were saying nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? So to me, it is sad, it is wrong, but it just brings me back to that time, and it was a hard freaking time. I'm gonna throw on some eyeshadow. I'm just gonna use my fingers today. Really sit down and think about the jokes people would say, because it was so bad, but I just guess we were just so desensitized that we just didn't think it was. And then now we're older and we've kind of grown and we kind of learned more. Now when we see things like that, we're like, oh my gosh. It's even horrible to just see the tweets again, see what people had to say. I mean, I'm not even talking from a place of like holier than thou. Maybe the next generation of kids won't have to like go through as much as that and not be so desensitized to what's going on. But my personal like experience with colorism has always been, like I said, I kind of just accepted it. It was kind of just whatever. Like, what am I gonna do about it? I could cry about it, or I could just freaking live my life. I didn't really have anybody in my family, like my immediate family, that was dark skinned. I think I'm the darkest girl in my immediate family. Yeah, because my mom is brown skin, she's not dark, and then my sisters are all kind of brown skin. So yeah, I was always the darker one, so I felt like that kind of played a part, because I never really had anyone to like look up to or think, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, young black girls need that kind of they need representation. That's it, they need a bit of representation. I didn't really have that in my immediate family, so I think that also played in a role, me being a little bit like insecure within my skin tone. But it was never something that was a big issue for me, because I feel like my family didn't make me feel any different. Skin tone was like nothing. Like, it wasn't even like a thing. It wasn't anything we spoke about, because it was just like, it didn't really matter, you know? So I guess I'm really thankful that I didn't really get a complex in terms of my family, but definitely like just in society and just going to school, you definitely learn certain things I don't explicitly remember anyone ever saying to me that light-skinned girls are prettier. Like, I never ever got that until I got to like high school. That's kind of when like it started to get really like explicit, and then I started seeing, oh wow, it started to like really get serious. I'm gonna put this shade on my lid because I think it's super cute. Hold up one sec. Even at like 14, 15, I definitely had like a little complex. I don't know if it's the Leo queen in me or my Leo energy. My fellow Leos, if you're a Leo, drop a Leo sign in the comments. But I feel like as a Leo woman, we're quite prideful and we are very confident. And I feel like even if we're not confident, we're gonna fake act like we're confident, because period. Like, we're never gonna let anyone think like we feel like we're not, and we're never gonna let anybody think like we're sweating or we don't feel like we're cute. Like, we just don't like people thinking we're weak. Like, we're always gonna be strong. We're strong people in general, but even when it comes to insecurity and weakness, we always just act like, no, I'm good, like, no, it's nothing. Like, we're always like that. Let me know if you guys agree, because I just feel like as Leos, that's just, we do that. I remember so clearly, I remember some guy added me on, we had BBs at the time, guys. Some guy added me on BBM. And I don't know, it was like a random ad. I guess I don't even remember how he got my BBM, whatever. But he added me, and I remember like he messaged me. I feel like, was it in BBM that you couldn't see someone's picture until you accepted him? I don't know, but I don't know, or maybe I had something else with my screensaver and I changed my screensaver to myself, something. And literally he messaged me like, oh, you're Blick, and just deleted me. Like, I felt like, oh my gosh, I remember my heart dropped. Like, wow, I didn't ask you to add me on this. I don't even know how he got my BBM, but the fact that he just messaged me, oh, you're Blick, and deleted me, like, you guys know, no, I gotta break it down to you guys because my heart dropped. You guys know, when you had BBM back in the day and someone deleted you, it's like if you're mid-chat with someone on BBM and they delete you or they block you, it just goes ghost. And you come out of it and you just disappear. Like, it was so like it was just such a knock to my confidence. Wow, like, you wouldn't even talk to me. Like, it's just enough for you to see my skin tone and be like, nah. And I'm sure it was a young black boy, and it was enough for you to see the color of my skin and just say, nah, forget it, fuck it, bye. Like, I just felt so like nothing. I remember that feeling. That experience definitely, like, that touched my spirit. Like, I was so upset. I can laugh about it now, but I remember how I felt in that moment. I can't even imagine, like, people who weren't as strong as me or just took in every word someone said. Like, it must have been so horrible to go through high school with the amount of like negativity and horrible things people just said just about your skin color. Like, it had nothing to do with your character, it had nothing to do with your personality. It just was something as simple as your skin tone that you cannot change. That just wasn't good enough for people, and that's just like one of the worst things. Did any of your friends kind of like give you any confidence boost, or did any of your friends kind of like see what was going on and kind of like support you? Because our light skin, brown skin counterparts at that age, remember 13, 14, I feel like they probably knew what was going on and what, like, you know, colorism things was happening, but I don't think they said much because I feel like it might have benefited them. I don't remember discussing it with anyone. I think it was just mental. So yeah, let me know if you guys' experience was different, because I think that also plays a part. I mean, you can't expect a 13, 14-year-old young girl to understand anything, but at the same time, we're going through freaking colorism and racism and all these big things. Like, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm just kind of going to define this up a little bit and then throw on lashes. I don't know if you guys can even see these are the same lashes. This one just looks so fluttery. This one just looks like it just woke up. Like, sis, perk up, let's go. So let's just highlight and contour, my favorite part. But yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about now. It took so long to put on my lashes. But yeah, I feel like colorism definitely played a part. But I feel like I was more also affected by other things. I've always had like a little body on me, even as like a young girl. So I feel like that also played a role. And I feel like that was more so something I struggled with, because I always felt like I was just like the bigger one out of all my friends. Even though I wasn't even big, like, guys, I was not fat. At that age, it's such a weird thing because, ooh, conceal. It's such a weird thing because it's like, I never felt like it was a bad thing, but it was almost like my body was like an older person's body. Like that's how people made me feel. It made me feel like my figure was not for me. It was too grown and it was too older girl. That's how I kind of perceived it. So I was always insecure by it as a young girl, because I felt like, oh, I can't wear certain things, or if I wear this I'm gonna look too much. And naturally I was always quite like a shy girl. Like I've always been more of a shy kid, never really to talk much. I'm still kind of the same. I'm not shy now, I'm just more reserved, and I only speak when I feel like I need to, or I feel like it's necessary. I'm not someone just talks to hear, like, I'm not someone that likes to hear the sound of my voice. I'm real quiet and observant. I'm just trying to see what the vibes are. I'm trying to see what people's energies are on. I'm trying to see what type of time people's are on. But I wouldn't say I'm super quiet or, you know, I'm shy. I can be shy at times, but at this time in my age, I'm not shy. If I'm not talking, it's because I don't want to, you know. I do get shy moments, but hardly as much as I used to as a kid. But I think that definitely played a role as well, because I was so shy. It was like anything for no one to talk about me. Like anytime I wear like shorts and stuff, adults will always be like, oh my gosh, look at her body, like leave me alone. Like it would annoy me, so I'd always want to cover up and not wear certain things. And I feel like it's even affected me now at my age. I'm about to be freaking 24. I still have to check myself sometimes, because I do get a little bit, please ignore my lace if it looks crazy, okay? Please. We in the house. It's not, I don't need to be laid, okay? But yeah, even at times where I still have to check myself now, like, T, you can wear this, it's fine to wear this, it's not too much. Constantly have to, like, even when I'm shopping, like online shopping, I always check my basket twice now, because I don't need any more t-shirts. Like, why don't I buy tops that are more like open? Like, I have nice boobs, like, girl, like, what are you wearing? But I don't like it. I feel like it's too much, and I feel like it's that mental thing that I got as a kid. I don't want to wear things that are too much, so I just don't want to draw attention to myself. And like, I don't know, I was always a shy kid, so I hated when people complimented me, and it was always like older women complimenting me, like, just leave me alone, like, it's cute and everything. And I was always a shy kid, so I don't know why no one ever clocks. Like, I don't like when people say that, like, it's weird. But yeah, I guess, you know, older people sometimes just think whatever. But yeah, so now even to this day I have to like encourage myself to like buy more dresses, buy more skirts. Like, girl, you got a little body on you, wear your stuff, you know. I have to like encourage myself. So I think that was more so what I struggled with at that age. I feel like it was a multitude of things for me. It wasn't just my skin color. I feel like it was a lot of other things, but I just thank God like it wasn't like super detrimental to my growth as a young girl, because I feel like it definitely could have been worse. I feel like the representation now is so much better. Even though people say like, oh, there's a rise in surgery, people getting BBLs and stuff like that, that is the negative side, but I still think there's so much more representation for us. And it's good, it's better, especially for girls growing up now. The surgery thing is questionable, because I feel like that's definitely something young girls are thinking too much about, or even jumping into. Let me not start on all these young people getting veneers and stuff like this. I'm not against getting cosmetic surgery if you want to, but I just feel like it becomes an issue when you're so young, like you're in your early 20s, late teens, and you're thinking about altering your whole entire body, like, and it's cosmetic, like purely cosmetic. I feel like you really need to relax. Even your body could even be past puberty and fully grown, but mentally you still have so much growing to do in terms of like self-development, self-love, learning to love yourself, that making these big decisions at that age, even though you may not regret it and it may be something that you actually are happy with, I still think like it's just a bit premature to make certain decisions. I would never like make anyone feel bad or shame them for getting surgery if they wanted to, but I just feel like it's definitely a big decision to make. It's something that you got to think about. It's not something that you do once and then that's it. Like any surgery, especially cosmetic, I definitely know that you have to get like checked, and you have to make sure that you're keeping your body in order, and that so nothing will really happen to you. You have to have the money. Like if anything goes wrong, you have to have the money to change it, to fix it. You could lose your life. There's so many different things. So I just feel like the surgery thing is very tricky. I'm not going to really touch on it too much in this video because I could be here forever, but yeah, I feel like that's kind of crazy. But yeah, I feel like in terms of colorism, I feel like it's just a thing where society, as much as now we have like more black girl magic and melanin pop and all these things, these hashtags, and people supporting us and like more representation, it's still really important for us to do the work and make sure that we love ourselves regardless of what. Like I at this point, I don't care what anybody has to say about me, light, dark, white, my skin, I don't care. I think I'm beautiful. I think it's so important for us to have go on our own journeys and not completely rely on others to make us feel worthy or make us feel a certain way or make us feel beautiful. I think it's still definitely something that we have to learn ourselves. I know people are probably thinking, oh, she's talking about self-love but she's contouring her nose. Yes sis, I'm contouring my nose because my nose doesn't have shape, you guys. I like my nose to have more like you know, like, okay, I feel like it's contouring, like, you know when you contour your face to get like more definition in your cheeks, that's literally what I do for my nose. I just feel like it needs a little bit of shape, needs a little plumpness to it. I feel like if I can use makeup to accentuate things, highlight things, contour things, I might do it, because period, you know. I didn't use my cream bronzer. I'm going to use my FENTY bronzer today. I love how it makes my skin look, so that's what I'm going to do. A self-love journey is definitely something you need to go on, and you can't always rely on everyone else in the media to do it for you, because the media, it changes. It literally changes. Like I remember at one point it was a thing to be a slim thing, and then all of a sudden now everyone wants a bum and everyone wants boobs and everyone wants no waist. And even though I feel like now, like 2020, I feel like it's more diversifying. You're seeing slim girls, you're seeing thick girls, you're seeing slim thick, you're seeing different type of body types. Definitely I think the slim thick body is just the thing that everyone kind of wants to go for. Everyone wants a bum, everyone wants a small waist. That's just kind of the thing. But even with stuff like that, that's why I think it's so important to just go on your own self-love journey and just know what you want for yourself and understand your self-worth, because if you don't, it's going to be very tricky for you, because your body shape and your look could be in today and tomorrow it's not in. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like as well, this whole black girl magic melanin popping thing, I feel like it's almost a trend. People just do it now for them to look good. Like, let's talk about the beauty industry, since we're on a beauty channel. Let's talk about these foundation shades, and then every brand coming out with 50 shades. That's completely a trend. That's why I'm not quick to jump on some of these brands when they come out with new products, and I'm gonna at them Benefit, because I have a personal experience with Benefit as a young teenager. I remember going there with some of my friends and they were all trying on foundation, and Benefit didn't have a foundation shade for me. So I was there with my friends, they was getting their makeup done, and I'm just standing there like just chilling, like, because I can't try anything on. And I wasn't really affected by it, because I knew like there's other places I could get makeup. Like I know my mom and my sisters were using like MAC, so I always knew MAC was a go-to. Shout out to MAC, okay, because MAC been had 50 shades or 4, I don't know how many shades they have, but they've been having shades, okay. So then Benefit came out with this Hoola bronzer, the toasted one, that's like really nice, and I'm so tempted to buy it, and don't call me a hypocrite if I do end up buying it, but I just want to say this. They came out with bronzer, when was that? I was like 13, 14 when this happened. I'm about to be 24 years old. So you're telling me 8 years later, you finally come out with a bronzer for someone that's deeper than a medium skin brown girl, and now I should go around out and buy it, when 8 years ago that wasn't something that you thought of? Did black people not exist 8 years ago? Like, I'm so confused. Even in the drugstore, like, there was nothing past medium tan. Like, it was not even medium tan. It was like beige, 50 shades of beige. It was just so much. And I feel like now, like, especially recently since Fenty came out, everyone wants to be 50 shades. Everyone wants this and that. And it's great. The inclusivity is great. The increase in, like, us being able to go anywhere and buy makeup products, that is amazing. But I'm not going to act like and be oblivious to the fact that this is a trend. And if it wasn't a trend, this wouldn't be happening. If these brands weren't being pulled up and called out about certain things, it wouldn't be happening. Thank God for inclusivity, but sometimes you have to really think about how this happened and why it happened, because it definitely wasn't out of the kindness of anyone's heart, because it took way too long for these things to happen. I'm gonna set my under eyes now. I'm kind of feeling this, like, it's kind of cute actually. Let's use a brush to just set this. I feel like I tried off my whole mouth this video. I just feel like as black women, I feel like we just gotta be there for ourselves, and as unfortunate as it is, because I do feel like, I'm not gonna say all because I don't actually believe that, but some black guys, they have a different preference. They may not prefer black girls, and you get some of them talking down on black women or making jokes about our appearances or how we look or how we maintain ourselves, and just making us the butt of the joke. And I just don't get why we always gotta be the butt of the joke. Like, and sometimes just they say, oh, it's just a joke, it's just a joke, but it's like, okay, if it's just a joke, why don't I see jokes about other women so much? Why is it always us? Why can't I see jokes about Karen and them? Why is it like, I don't get it. It's not really equal. So when people say it's a joke, I just don't even really buy it, because I don't see you making jokes about any other women. It's usually just us. We just gotta be there for ourselves, you guys. And it's as sad as it sounds, that's just how I feel. I feel like it's got to be a personal journey, and you just got to find your sisters, find your support system, and just rock with that, and just try to expand the network as much as you can and share the love, because it's just so difficult. I don't understand why we have it so hard. Like, I just don't get it. And I want all of you guys watching this, do you know what, I'm gonna pigeonhole my black girls watching this. You are beautiful. You are the blueprint. Go and look at any of these Instagram pages, look at all these beauty trends, look at the popular phrases people use, how people talk. Black culture is literally the blueprint. We are so influential in culture, period. Even the music we're listening to now, dresses, the braids, the cameras, the gold accessories, okay? We can go down the line and how much culture and how much our fashion and just our finesse, our personality, our soul has influenced the world. And if that's not nothing to be proud of, I don't know what is. Like, be proud of who you are, understand who you are, do your research. Hello.
A few moments later.
I set underneath my bronzer. I also added a bit of blush. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I was just on the phone for a bit, so I kind of just left you guys for a second, but I'm back. So yeah, I'm nearly done now. I just need to like do my highlighter. I'm gonna quickly do that now. I'm gonna use my SHAIBEAUTY highlighter today. But just like to close out the video, in terms of the Twitter, like resurfacing tweets and people's old tweets, I'm not talking from a place of privilege. Like, there's nothing wrong that I've never done in my life, because of course there is. He who's without sin, was it, shall not cast the first stone? Is that what it says in the Bible? I'm paraphrasing, but that's generally how I feel about the situation. I'm not defending anyone's comments or anyone's tweets, because that's like, what they said was disrespectful and rude, and everyone has the right to be offended by what they say. But I just feel like nothing happens in a vacuum. Like, nothing happens in a vacuum. So when we're looking at these old tweets and things that were said at that point, me logging on Twitter and reading something absolutely disgusting about me, saying that I can't wear this lipstick, I can't wear this, I can't wear that, black girls ruin this, black girls don't know how to do that, black girls are ugly, black girls don't like animals, comparing us to animals, all this horrible stuff. Even there was tweets about like how black women look, like even in regards to something as personal as like your private area, or black girls' private areas look like it was some really horrible, desensitive, like it was just absolutely horrendous. It's heartbreaking that that was even a thing that was allowed to happen, and that was even a thing that's socially that was okay. Like, that was funny. I hope as a community we grow. I'm just so tired of it, and I don't like the fraudulent fake vibes that we get from somebody, whether it be makeup brands, whether it be beauty brands, whether it just be all these empowerment movements. Sometimes I just feel so overwhelmed and so like patronized. Let me know if you guys feel like that, because sometimes I do feel like quite patronized. Even me sometimes, because obviously I'm trying to grow my social medias. Sometimes I'll tag these pages and I'm like, why are all of them melanin, pop, melanin, this, melanin? Like, okay, we get it, we get it. We get it. Like, it's so much overwhelming. But I don't know if it's just me. Sometimes I feel a bit patronized by it. I don't know. I don't want to think too deep into it. I'm not stressing myself out. Do you know what I mean? I'm just here to live my life. Do you know what I mean? Not here to do anything else. Just tone down this blush. I feel like I'm doing a bit much. Yeah, I want to be highlighting. Do you see how I get distracted when I'm talking about things? And let's just not ignore the fact that a lot of, I'm not going to say all, a lot of black male celebrities, athletes, rappers, entertainers, they like to go for light-skinned girls, like to go for the exotic look. Let's not ignore black women and make them feel crazy when we're saying, yes, people do have preferences, but a lot of the time, some of these preferences are rooted in colorism. Let's not lie. Why are we acting so oblivious to the fact that that's a possibility, that your preference can be rooted in colorism? Why is that not a possibility? I'm not saying that's the only reason, but let's not ignore the freaking facts. Like, the fact that slavery happened, there's so many things that was taught to us that still passed down and trickled down to us to this day. Why do you think that's so hard? Why do you think that just wasn't something that passed down to you? Oh, there was some clip going around as well recently about some battle rapper talking about how his kid is better because she's light skinned, and talking about the other guy, his opponent, his child is dark skinned, so seeing like, oh, your child's gonna be ran through, they're gonna be treated like this, and they're this, like acting like that child is completely worthless just because of their skin tone. Like, it's just so horrible. It's just, I just don't even like talking about this subject. It literally drains my energy. I just want you guys to stay encouraged. I know it's like kind of hurtful when you see old tweets and old views of people that you might have even followed, or people that you actually support and like, and just be like, wow, and be really disappointed. I don't even know how to end this video because I feel kind of sad now. Like, oh, why do we have to go through such things? It's just not even fair. Let me release my hair. I actually didn't do any lower lash line action today. Let me just finish off my lower lash line. I think I'm gonna put like a dark, I'm gonna put a bit purple down. The whole topic of like colorism and stuff like that, it's not a happy topic. And you guys know I use this channel to just be happy, to like do my makeup and share my like beauty tips. I just want you guys to stay encouraged, stay uplifted. Self-love is really important because we can't rely on everyone else or on society to reflect back to us what we know is true. Like, we are amazing, we're beautiful, we're strong, we are the freaking blueprint. If anything, regardless of what's on TV, regardless of what's in the media at any given time, we're always gonna remain who we are. And with me saying this, it's not to exclude any other race of women. Like, I feel like all women are beautiful, but I'm talking to my black girls because I know about the experiences that we have in society. The race inequality and then the colorism layer that we experience is something that cannot be discounted or cannot be just thrown away to the side as if it's nothing. So I just want you guys to leave this video uplifted. I don't want you guys to leave this video feeling down and negative. You don't want to support somebody because of something they said, unsubscribe, unfollow, it's fine. Like, just do what's best for you. And yeah, I'm gonna finish it on that because I don't want to keep going. I don't want the video to be too long. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed my perspective. Let me know in the comments what your views are. We can agree to disagree, but don't be disrespectful because I can be disrespectful too. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.
Never love a boy who don't even love himself. It's time to go our separate ways. Oh, yeah, the gang in the family, that's why I don't need